Today we're talking about lamps. Yes, some of you guys have probably seen this one, an old classic which was sent to me from the prepper shop, and there's links below the video about that one. That's all cool because people want some brand new stuff, but some of you guys, including myself, also like the older stuff. Sometimes it's a lot cheaper as well. I was lucky enough to find in an antique shop, yeah, believe it or not, I couldn't believe it. Now I've just finished cleaning this. This is the top which goes on it, so very fragile, so I'm keeping it under there on my glass cleaning cloth right for now. So we got a piece of newspaper, always handy, and in here, which I'm going to show the photograph, that this was 7 days ago. All I done was I took the metal piece of the lamp, put it in here, which is a Christmas pudding bowl left over from Christmas, and I filled it up with vinegar. Okay, distilled vinegar, very cheap. These are under 30p a bottle. Okay, so in my opinion, it's always a good idea to get loads of these things because they keep for years and they're so multi-use. Okay, distilled vinegar, awesome. We got some lamp oil, which I brought from a local hardware store, and these are a couple of wicks. So I measured the old wick which come out of it, which was really old, brittle, and it stunk. Okay, so we're basically just refurbing this old lamp. All right, so these two pieces of the wick, I think they're 3/4 of an inch in diameter and probably 2mm thick. Right, these two delivered was under £4. Okay, £3 something. So amazing value. An old toothbrush, and this also, if you can look inside there, it's quite manky. All right, that's been sat in there for 7 days. So all I done was I just poured the vinegar into these containers, covered it with cling film because we don't want the place smelling like a chip shop. Okay, vinegar is a very strong smell, so they covered over in there and let the vinegar do its thing. There's been mild agitation every other day with something like this, just to lift off some of that crud off the bottom. So that's all we've done really, is that we've given this a good clean, we've let these two soak, and what we're going to do is we're going to clean it all up, trying to get it almost looking like brand new again, and fill it up and see if it works. Hopefully it will. This lamp cost me £25 from an antique shop. Yes, I couldn't believe it, I know. And it was quite funny because, let me tell you this, sharing some information, right? The guy said, yes, it's 1920s, it's vintage. And I thought, okay, great. I had no idea. It wasn't until after where I watched the video, and it turns out that there's lots of reproduction lamps from the 50s onwards. So we're going to mention that when we show you what's inside here. It's about how it screws on. Very important. Right, okay then. So what we're going to do first is I think we're going to tackle this one here. All right. So here we go. 7 days. Has it done the trick? Let me see. Woo! That's really strong. Okay, so what I'm going to do, it looks pretty good. It's lifted off most of it, but I did suspect that we're going to need the bottle brush as well. Okay, so I'm going to dump some of that out into the container. If you want to, if you really wanted to, you could literally just strain the remnants of this through like a handkerchief or a very fine cloth, and you could probably reuse it. I don't see any reason why you can't. So this is literally the first time. I've got no idea how this is going to fare. What I was thinking of is probably going to remove most of it. So what I might need to do is to go back indoors, hot soapy water, and finish this off. But it looks like it's removed most of it, which is great. No real effort required. Wow, that's incredible. So let's put that in there. And you can see how much all of that stuff is actually just lifted off, and all that is done, like I said, is just soak in vinegar. So let's get rid of that. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, there's loads of little bits in there, like I just said. So this is what it looks like underneath. As I say, it's got most of it off. So that's that one. Yep. Pretty happy with that. It's got most of it off. It looked like it is old dirty oil that's been in there for, I can't tell you how long, a long time. So Oh wow. So let me show you this. This is the top part of the lamp. Let's put that on there, move that aside. Let's have a little look. Yep, there's been some remnants being lifted off of that as well. Wowee. So yeah, that is it there. Let me just see if I can show you a bit closer. See what I mean about the screw top? If you find any lamps which have this screw fitting, it is not really old vintage, okay? It's probably going to be from the 50s or thereabouts onwards. But nevertheless, prices of lamps are literally going up and up and up. So it doesn't really matter if it's vintage or if it's reproduction. If it's good and it's usable, it's fine by me. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that's incredible. That's really just brought it all the way back. Vinegar's amazing. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly go and wash these up with some hot soapy water, rinse it all off, and then let's crack on and see if we can get this little old lamp to work. Right, this went really, really well. I'm really impressed actually. It didn't take too much at all. I think in total the washing time took about 10 minutes and the drying time probably took about the same. Okay, so what I've done was, after it was all washed, I dried it as much as I can, and I just put this one especially on top of my gas bottle heater to really dry through, because the last thing you want is any water left in there mixing up with oil and stuff like that. It'll rust as well. So I'm just going to show you a bit of a close-up to see exactly how much dirt and all that crud got lifted off. Pretty much 50-50 with the vinegar and the washing up water. It's taking it right back. And like I said, any oil lamp with any sort of threaded fitment on there is a reproduction one. Okay, and yeah, everything is moving. Can you see the wheels in there? Perfect. So that's good. And as for the glass, look at that. It's got every single bit out of there. Now the bottle brush come into its own. The great thing about those is you can bend them, so you can get them inside all of these, all the way down here. Seriously good. It done really, really well. So that come out literally like the day it was made in the factory. So that's all clean. We give this a clean as well. So yes, it is pretty much looking like brand new again. Don't forget, £25 and a perfectly serviceable lamp. Okay, in fairness, it was in pretty good nick anyway. It was just a bit grubby. You can find ones in really bad condition, and obviously it's going to take a little bit more effort. So we got the wicks, and there's a bit of a close-up of what the wick actually looks like if you've not seen these before. Okay, like I said, I think these two delivered was well under £4, so really, really good. So okay, what are we going to do first? First things first is we're going to see if these fit inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in a bit close. So wick goes inside, I'm going to hold it there, and I'm just going to turn it. And as you can tell, it's gripped it, which is good. And if we keep going, there we are. It works seriously, seriously well. Now sometimes with old lamps, it's very difficult to get the right size wick, and you'll turn this and it will spin and it won't move. There are some adjustments that you need to make with small pliers and stuff like that inside to try and get it to actually bond. It's very, very tricky, okay? I'll just advise you. If you go too far, you turn it and it won't work, so you've got to go back and loosen it. And obviously metal, and it's not the most expensive metal in the world, what you could get is called metal fatigue. So you get some metal and you bend it this way, the more you do it, it will break at this point there. It will just snap, right? So just be wary of that. But luckily for us, it's all good in the hood. So what we're going to do is we're going to wind this right down as far as we can, because what we need to do now, if you could look inside there, I don't know if you can see, we want to do it as low down as possible before it actually drops off, right? Once you've got that done, we're going to need to put the oil in there and let it soak. So that's probably as low as I would dare So there we have it, job done there. Now, got some newspaper. Obviously, you don't want oil going everywhere, so it always makes good practice. Now, if you wanted to, i.e. the neck of your jar, whatever you want to call it, is very small, use a funnel. I think we can get away with this, because look at that, it pretty much goes in there. But obviously be very, very careful. This is flammable, right? So you don't want this anywhere near any flames. So we've got our nice oil, and we're just going to pour it in there. Look how clean and pure that is. It's almost like water. So I would say I'm going to fill it to that shoulder right there. Put that down. Always make sure you put the lid on, you don't want it accidentally knocking over. Lamp oil's getting expensive now. So there we go, that's where I'm going to be filling it. Whether it's right or wrong, whether there's a rule, I don't know. But we're going to find out. So yeah, it's cool, everything's nice and clean. So that is just going to go inside. And we are going to screw it up. Now personally, I would leave this anywhere between 10 minutes and an hour. It's dependent on what you feel, okay? There's no real time limit, but the base idea is that wick has soaked the oil all the way up to the very, very top, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna let that soak. And then we're gonna come back. Hopefully it lights and it's all good. Okay, so we're back. This has been soaking for just over 40 minutes. So it's a great thing, it worked out well. Just had lunch, come back. Let's see if it's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it up. We're going to have a feel. Yes, definitely. It's soaked all the way through, so now we're good to go. If you do this and you touch the top and it's dry, just wind it back down and let it soak up, okay? There's no rush. So what we're going to do is we've got our lighter and we are going to see if this works. There we go. Yep, looking good. So we can take that down. You just control it slowly. You want a small flame just like that. Okay. Now this is very important. Now I don't know if many people know this, but always have it on very low. I would say like that. Okay. As low as you can go without it going out. Then you got your glass, and we're going to fit that on the side, on the top. Perfect. Now what we're going to do now, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but around the top it's all condensating. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to wait for that small flame to gradually heat the glass. Worst thing you can do is to turn it right up, okay, and it will soot. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We want to keep it a nice clean burn and everything else. So yes, it will take a while, and once all of this condensation and fog on the glass has gone, we'll be good to go. Now the thing is, because we are outside in the tent, the temperature is a lot lower than it typically would be if you was indoors. But you know, with what's going on around the world at the moment, with people struggling to heat their homes, this is a good thing for you guys to understand. Okay, so it doesn't matter how long it takes, we're going to let that just gradually warm up. Already the top is starting to go, and you can probably see the condensation all the way. It's just lowering slowly, and when it's totally gone and all of the glass is practically crystal clear, then you are ready to turn it up a little bit more. Okay, obviously the higher up it goes, the faster it's going to burn the oil, and you are going to risk getting some soot and stuff like that. Okay, so it's just one of those things. I don't know if everyone knows this, but it's a little tip. Always give it time to warm the glass, and then it will work a lot more better. It'll be a lot cleaner. No smells, no soot, no smoke. Okay, it's interesting because you can really see the difference, because as I say, it's cold outside. It's probably about 3 or 4 degrees C, something like that. So you can gradually see it coming down there. Okay, sometime later we are good to go. Now I've turned the lights off in here. You probably can't tell because it's still quite bright out here, but let me tell you this, if this was in a pitch black room, this would make a massive, huge difference. And even the heat from around the glass there is quite warm. Now you can see what I mean there about turning up the light. So because the glass now has been preheated, okay, you can have it up to quite a high level like that. I don't know if you can see, I might zoom in on a sec to show you. There's no soot around the top. Now if you'd done this from cold, you would start to get soot and a lot of smoke come through. But from close inspection, that's burning absolutely clean, and it's exactly what you're looking for. So there we have it. Absolutely perfect now. So we can just turn this around. So there we have it. It's working absolutely as it should, okay? So all I've done really is give it a good clean, brought it back to life, put everything brand new oil, brand new wick, and we're doing it correctly, which we're doing it slowly to preheat the glass, and voila, perfect. This is what you want to try and achieve if you are totally new to this, you've never done this before, all right? Very, very important little tips to understand, okay? You can easily just not bother cleaning it, ramp it right up to the top, and you're going to have a lot different results, should we say. So if you can follow these simple basic guidelines, I'm pretty sure you'll have a lamp which will last you the rest of your life. Incidentally, if you really wanted to, do some research. There's different oils you can use at a pinch, but for today we're going with the recommendations of really good clean lamp oil and a new wick. It works absolute wonders, and it will make a lot of difference. So even if you sort of put your hand around here, the warmth is insane. It's really, really good. So this is a keeper. We're definitely going to be using this in our cottage, and yes, just need to be careful because it's very, very fragile. So that's pretty much a wrap. That's literally all there is to it. The only advice I can give is just go very, very careful, okay? Obviously this glass is quite thick, but you can still break. There's stuff on the top. Be seriously careful. I mean, treat it like a newborn baby, okay? You've got to be so careful. One little accidental dink in the sink when you're cleaning it will just smash it to bits, okay? You've got to be very, very careful. So yeah, I hope this video has helped. If any of you guys feel inspired to go out and search all over the place to find these, you're going to save yourself a fortune. You can go on eBay and buy something very similar to this and pay anything over £60–70. All right. I was just very fortunate, and I was lucky enough to find a really good antique shop, but really good value. Okay, so not all antique shops are like that, but there are some out there, and I advise you get out in your vehicle, go and find these places, go and have a look, ask for them. They'll point you to the right direction. It'll save you time hunting around the whole place, and then just have a good look at it. But remember what I said: anything that's got a screw-on cap there, it is not genuine vintage. It's going to be from the 50s and forward, okay? So if they do say, oh yeah, this is from the 19th century or whatever it is, and you see that, you can correct them on that. Also, with that sort of ammunition in your arsenal, you can shoot them down on price. So for argument's sake, you go into a shop, you find, say, the exact same one as this, and they said, oh yeah, this is like 1890s or 1910s or something like that. And just say to them, say, they didn't start manufacturing these sort of lamps with a screw on top until the 50s or so onwards. So straight away, you're going to educate them if they do not know. If they do know, they're trying to pull a fast one, okay, you can always barter down the price, because saving money in this day and age is very important too. This will absolutely give you light in the room for a long, long time with this oil, and it will give you some heat as well. Oh, you can't even put your hand on top, it's that hot. So anyway, without me waffling on any further, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up, it really helps. If you want to see more stuff like this of all different tips prepping related, please subscribe and click that notification bell, very important. So there we have it. It worked like a charm, and I'm so glad it did. I hope that's helped. Thanks very much for watching, and stay funky.